subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks.
Alright, am I in the shot or not? What's up, YouTube freaks? We're back with the 8th gen Corolla / Chevy Prizm, the 1.8 liter 1ZZFE. This is a 2000. In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the serpentine belt tensioner. It's a hydraulic tensioner with an articulating arm, and mine has a little oil leak. Yours could be leaking oil, the piston could be completely out of oil, or it could be making a noise. Either way, I'll show you how to change it. I'm going to try to do this without jacking up the engine for that 17mm mounting bolt. Here's what it looks like. It's got a hydraulic piston on it, a swinging arm, and then an idler pulley at the end. It mounts in two places, on the top here for the piston, and then on the side here for the main body. All the parts and useful tools will be linked down below, so check those out. Alright, I'm all sweaty. I'm ready to go. Stay tuned. Alright freaks, first things first, there's 2 acorn nuts on this valve cover, beauty cover. Just take those off. Highly recommend one of these magnetic trays. So when I pull up on the cover, I like to just put my fingers over these clips in the back here because they will go flying if you pull up too hard. So just pop those off. It's just gonna give us some more room over here. All right, freaks, you can see it's pretty tight over here on the passenger side, but here's the hydraulic tensioner right here. Here's the piston with the nut, and then that mounting bolt right there off my finger. Our first step here is to get the tension off the belt and remove the belt. So we're gonna be utilizing this 19mm sort of welded static nut right here. We're gonna get a breaker bar and a 19 on that, and we're gonna start our breaker bar up at this sort of angle up here so that we get a full stroke. We're gonna rotate and swing that tensioning arm, compress that piston there, and then slip off the belt. All right, so use what you got, but I've got a 6.19mm here. You wanna be gentle when you're pulling on this. You don't wanna twist and break off that welded nut. It's actually like casted on there probably, but it's aluminum, so you wanna be gentle. Here's what it looks like. Yeah, I'm pretty much straight up and down, but get an angle that's, pretty far away from you because you want to get a full pull stroke on here to get enough tension off the belt to slip it off. And I'm just going to slip it off the alternator because it's right down here in front of my face. There's not a whole lot of travel on it, but it does take some pulling. You'll hear the hydraulic fluid moving in the piston. And just flick that belt off. Just pull your belt out. Alright, so here's your big long belt. Alright, first things first, I'm just gonna crack this upper nut that holds on the piston part of the tensioner. That's a 12mm nut. It is fastened on top of a Torx stud going into the timing cover or the head, I'm not sure. So I'm gonna go for more of like a bump to break this nut free so I don't disturb that stud underneath. All right, so that's cracked free. I'll just go ahead and spin that towards the end, leave it on for now. All right, so right off my finger, you can see the other bolt that we're after. It's a 17mm. This is the one that's gonna come out this way horizontally, and it's gonna wanna bump into that frame according to people, and then they jack up the engine to get it over the frame so they can slip that bolt out. I'm gonna see if I can do some finagling and get this bolt out without jacking up the engine. I really want to try to avoid that and just get this job done. That's a 17mm. I'll try to get a camera on this. Hold on. All I can do right now to get on it is the open end of my 17mm wrench. Might use a cheater bar. All right, so just being really careful, but the cheater bar with the open end of the wrench did it fine. Just take your time, find a setup to where you don't think you're gonna round out that bolt, and you'll be fine. I'm gonna speed all this up since I don't have a ratcheting wrench or anything, so I'm just gonna get this bolt out slowly but surely. I'll come back when I have it mostly out, and I'll show you if I can slip it out without jacking up the engine. Be right back. All right, before I continue, I just want to take a moment to thank our video sponsor, which is Just Kidding Nobody. It's just me, so give a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to me. It's just me in the garage, so yeah. All right, let's get back to getting your car fixed. Thanks for watching. All right, guys, so here I am. I've got the bolts pretty much all the way out. All right, we're gonna put this theory to the test that we don't need to jack the engine up to get this bolt out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off this upper nut all the way. So I'm gonna take this nut off the top for the piston. That might give me the play that I need to finagle the whole tensioner and this bolt out. All right, so my upper nut is taken off. You know, you can work the top off here a little bit, off that stud just a little bit halfway, and then this bolt just slips right out. So the Toyota engineers were smarter than we thought. They knew that people were going to be replacing these tensioners, so confirmed you don't need to jack up the engine to get this bolt out. There you go. All right, with that off, I'm going to slip this tensioner off the top stud here. And we're just gonna fish it out the top. Okay, well, I just dropped it at the bottom and that worked perfectly. So just, I guess, drop it at the bottom. There you go. You can see my piston is all wet. So I'm gonna clean that up. I'll clean this whole thing up and we'll check it out. If your old part is still pretty good and it has some life left in it, it's probably a good idea to just keep it around, put it on the shelf, just in case. You never know. That's what I always do with old parts that are still good. So just a tip. All right, so I believe this is the original tensioner. I think it has a date on here of 2001. Here are the numbers, the IX2, Slovakia. So if you're looking for an OEM on like eBay or something, look for those markings, the Slovakia IX2, and then the part number here and the date, because I'll try to sell you an OEM one and it's not. I went with an aftermarket one and I'll link that down below. My bearing I think was good. I feel a little vibration, but I don't have any noise. But my issue was I'm leaking hydraulic fluid all down. You can see it into this pivot point right here, and it was getting everything just dirty. And I checked this by cleaning up this boot right here, you know, brake clean and cleaning and drying everything up and then driving it a few times, and it just re-wet itself. It's definitely leaking. It's not totally bad yet, but eventually this will go bad and, you know, make noise or fail potentially. That's the old one. Right now I won't film it, but I'm going to take this opportunity to take some brake clean and clean up all this like sludge and dirt that was accumulating on the timing cover here from all that hydraulic oil. I'm going to clean that up best I can. Pretty tight in there. All right, here's my new part. Goes like that. So I've got a brand new pulley, nice and smooth and slow. It's got a different style covering on it for the piston. So, you know, this is aftermarket. This is made in Canada. I'll put the links down below for the one that I went with. We're just gonna get this reoriented in the car, and I'm gonna put this 12mm nut on, just thread it on just a few threads so that I could slip that 17mm bolt the same way, sort of down and into it, and then get that threaded in by hand. Stay tuned. But before I do that, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to double check all the bolts. I'm just going to put some wrenches on these bolts and make sure they're nice and tight. All right, I'm going to try to slip this down from the top. So actually I'm going to try to go around the back here. I'm going to go under these throttle cables. And then, yeah, this is the way to do it. Just come back around. First thing I'm going to do is just slip this piston mount over this torque stud up here. Get that situated and just get that nut on, just barely on, so I still have freedom of movement. Just get it on like that. And now I'm gonna fish this long bolt in there, so get an eye on your hole here. I've got my right hand underneath the idler pulley, just holding the whole swing arm up, and then with my left hand I'm adjusting this top mounting hole for the piston enough, and then those combined, I can get that bolt slipped past that frame there. And so once you get it slipped in, it's just a matter of finding your hole. Just move everything around and just fish it in there. You'll feel it. I'll use my wrench as a pointer. This pass through here, this mount that the bolt goes through sort of sits up. I can't film it, but it sort of sits up in a little sort of round part of the casting. Like it only goes in one place. You can't miss it. Let me get that threaded in by hand and I'll show you torquing it up. So I don't have a torque wrench that can get on either one of these bolts, but the specs are 21 foot-pounds for the upper nut and then 51 foot-pounds for the 17 millimeter bolt. So I'm just gonna do a good and tight by hand, call it a day. Do that, okay? For the bottom one, I'm gonna do the same thing that I did to break it free. I'm gonna do an open end 17 millimeter wrench with the cheater bar on it. All right, so I snugged that up. I'm checking for any gross play and make sure everything's tight before moving on to the next step. Here are the instructions from the aftermarket manufacturer. I believe the factory service manual from Toyota says the same thing as far as what I'm about to show you. So when you install the new tensioner, before you put the belt on and run the car, you need to bleed the hydraulic strut. You do this by leaving the belt off and compressing the strut with your breaker bar or ratchet 3 times. And I'm going to show you this process now. Do it slowly and take your time, and that's going to make sure all the air is out of the tensioner. All right, so on this new aftermarket part, it's not quite a 19. The 19 will fit on it, and that's all I have, but it's almost like it's an 18, and I couldn't find the SAE equivalent, so I'm just going to be really careful. There's a little bit of play, but 19 is all I have. And I'm going to take my breaker bar and get it on that aluminum nut here, and I'm going to work the piston a few times before we put this belt on. 3 full ranges of travel here, nice and slow. There's 1. I'm going to release it slowly. 2. 2. And 3. So everything seems to be moving nice. It's tighter than the old one, so there should be a nice, firm, new tension on this belt. So I got my new belt here, links down below. Again, like I said, I'm bypassing my AC, but I'll put the routing diagram up here. With new belts, I like to clean off any dust or anything from the factory, so that's just me. All right, so reinstall for the belt. I like to do this from underneath. I think it's a little bit easier as far as getting everything routed. If you have your dust water shield on underneath, it's just 10 millimeter bolts. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 10 millimeter screws. Those go into like plastic bushings. They're actually like pointed screws, so those are the only 2 that are different. But I'm gonna go ahead and take that off and then show you underneath. What I like to do is just get my breaker bar here onto that 19 millimeter aluminum nut up there. So again, I'll put up the routing diagram, and you're gonna do everything the same as me, except you're gonna hook onto your AC compressor over here. Your belt is gonna be longer. Or if you have no AC, you're gonna do exactly what I'm doing. The funky part is where the belt goes. It curls up in between the power steering pump and the crank pulley to hook around the tensioner. So from the power steering pump, it goes all the way up directly around the top of the alternator, and then it comes to the inside of the water pump here. And then, like I said, then it would come around the AC. But for me, I'm just coming straight down around the crank. And then I've got my my pigtail loop coming up to where it's ready to slip over the idler pulley when I pull it down. So I'm gonna do that now. So I'm gonna get my breaker bar, pull down. So yeah, my last move here is to pull down on the tensioner enough where I can slip the belt over that idler pulley. Check all your grooves. Check all your grooves on your grooved pulleys. Run your hands up around them. Everything should be nice and smooth and on the tracks in the grooves. Make sure on your smooth pulleys, take your hand and run them. Make sure they're straight on the smooth, and just double check that everything's nice and straight. And then from above, check your alternator. visually make sure it's on there straight. There's another shot of it. Again, I'm bypassing the AC, but just take your time, follow the diagram, and you should be good to go. So let me put the shield back on and lower it down, and we'll give it a test run, see how it sounds. Be right back. All right, double check your work, check your alternator, check all your work on the tensioner, make sure everything's out of the way. I'm gonna start this thing up, and hopefully it doesn't blow up. All right, so it didn't blow up. One thing that I do notice is that my tensioner doesn't have any play in it. My old one wasn't bad, but it would sort of bob up and down. There was a little play in it, so it wasn't making any noise, but now this one is like totally solid, firm, nice solid tension. So just put your cover on and you're good to go. Job well done. Congrats. I hope it goes well for you. Good luck. Subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to me. And leave a like, leave a comment, and check out the links down below. Thanks for watching. See ya.